As the country faces more cases of COVID-19, there is some new concern about long-term symptoms, especially in children. Diana Berrent is the founder of Survivor Corps. She recovered from COVID and actually started a group to help others learn as much about the virus as possible. Today, she's here to talk about what's happened to her son and other children. Thank you for being with us, Diana.
Thank you so much for having me on and giving me an opportunity to talk about this issue. I think it's so important that people be aware of.
Yeah, we're learning about long haulers, people who've been having symptoms long after they got diagnosed, and that's including you and your son. So what do we need to know about what's showing up with children?
Yes. So one, there's also a distinction between long haulers or some people have get COVID and their symptoms never really go away. So they're on day 100 of having a fever. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about my son had it in February and he's having waves of symptoms still now. Rashes that come and go, GI issues that come and go. I had it in mid-March. I actually didn't get it from him. I got it about a month later from somewhere else and passed it on to my daughter and my husband. They both had very, very mild cases and have had no symptoms since. But my son and I both have these recurring GI issues. And there are other, he told me the other day, he's like, Mom, he's 11. Very, very sporty kid. He said, do you feel sometimes like you just need to take like 5 naps in a day? And I was like, no. And you shouldn't either. You're 11.
Right.
And I realized that these things, so we did a poll on Survivor Corps of well over 1,000 members over the weekend, this past weekend, just to see what their ongoing symptoms were. What were they experiencing post-COVID? And all of the symptoms that he was complaining about matched up to the same ones that the adults were complaining about. And so I think that I don't want to make it seem, this is not a multi-inflammatory syndrome. He's not in dire medical need. This is not, but it is something that needs to be watched because we don't know what the long-term consequences are. So I did have blood panels done for both of my children. Both of them had numbers that seemed kind of wonky. It's now 2 months later. I'm going to bring them back for another round to see if they still have antibodies, if their levels have returned to normal.
Right.
Is their iron back to normal? Is their vitamin D back to normal? Why were their hormone levels off all of a sudden? It really needs to be an awareness issue.
Yes.
And something that the medical community is not yet up on. So
you might have to self-advocate. And Diana, I wish we could have more time with you, but I want to let everyone know about survivorcorps.com because that's where people are finding a community that's talking about these symptoms. So if you think that your child has these strains.
And we're an open group on Facebook, Survivor Corps, CORPS. It's open to everybody and is truly the world's greatest data set on survivors. So we have more information there than anybody. Come share your information and learn from others.
Diana, thank you so much for being with us and sharing that information.
Thank you for having me.